You little cockroach, the monster yelled. I don't blame you. I blame that impotent ikuku that couldn't kill you in the womb or hold you in shrine. Healing me in the womb when I was not yet born was not easy for you. You think you can harm the hair on my head now? Ikenga said. Never, never, never! It screeched in fear and burst forward to attack Ikenga. Once upon a time, he began without wasting any further time. This man is a serious mental. How can he be in the mood of telling stories when he is in the verge of being killed? The king thought with an unexplainable expression on his face. He didn't know what to do next, for this man took him totally by surprise. A man sold his lineage just for a moment of pleasure, the king announced. He was a mighty warrior. Some even refers to him as a god. He deceived his entire community, his entire kindred, and lived a lie till the day he joined his ancestors. Another story. A man sold himself to slavery. He too was mighty and feared. He was deceived, and by so doing, his lineage suffered the consequences. My third and final story is that of a boy who was cursed because of his purpose. His parents were deceived and they suffered for no reason. He too suffered for no reason till he broke out of the curse. This is the end of my story. Ikenga ended abruptly, leaving the audience with confused looks. The once silent and serene environment broke into murmurs. Even Okechukwu had his mouth agape, for this was the most confusing story he had ever heard. The king, too, didn't know whether to laugh or to cry, because it was clear that this man was falling for time. Are you done? Why not sing us a song too? He mocked at Ikenga. However, Ikenga looked directly into the eyes of the king, and at that moment it was as if time froze, like blazing torches. His eyes were sucking in the time as people were confused and shocked at the same time, but no one dared to. Only the voice of the king that resonated in the air. These people were all victims of deceit, and so are you, Ikenga began once more, with authority in his voice. The man in my first story was Ebubedike. He, thinking he would face a ferocious beast, was met by a gentle and somewhat harmless woman. She lured him to bed, but deceived him by closing his lineage. She promised him immortality and wealth, but he ended up taking his own life out of depression. He never found any teardrop and remains the most pitiful of all men. People were shocked, but no one dared to utter a sound. Some even held their breath, for the presence before them was too much to bear. The second man in my story is Mbakwe, whom was deceived into slavery of caring for a lifeless wood. He tied down his lineage with the same slavery, for he had brought this wood home into his household and made a covenant of total submission of his entire generation. Eyes turned in unison to look at the oracle that Agumba brought with him. And then, as if like a remote controlled them, they turned back and at the same time looking at Ikenga. The cursed boy in my third story is me. I am destined for greatness but suffered a terrible childhood because my parents accepted the lie that I was cursed. My mission is to liberate all those that have been held captive and the evil tried to put off my light. However, destiny can only be delayed but not destroyed. This man you see standing here was once called uneasy, which depicts that no man knows tomorrow. But the mysterious tree called me. He changed my name, and now I am Ikenga, the warrior of souls. And it is my duty to set you all free too. Silence reigned when he ended, and for some minutes nobody said a word. It felt as if a chord had been struck in their hearts. They started thinking about a lot of things. Was their beliefs all a lie? Were they truly living the life? What is the essence of all this toil? To acquire things they may never enjoy. One after the other, each Divya dropped his arms, removed his charms, and knelt down, wishing to be free and experience the freedom that Ikenga talked about. What is this? Why are all of you dropping your charms? Are you not scared of death? The king roared in anger. He was blinded by rage. How can all the people he came with just surrender to just a few words of this lunatic? Well, my ancestor was right, he thought to himself. If you want something done, you do it yourself. Picking up the nearest machete, he rushed towards the king to finish him off. However, as he was about to strike, a divine voice resonated in his head. Touch not my anointed, and do my prophets no harm. His brain snapped, and from there he ran off, but no one tried to stop him, for they were still entranced by the words they had heard. They thought finally the tyrant has run off. We are free and it is over. But the fight was not even started. Suddenly, smoke began to rise from the wooden oracle Agumba brought with him. Surprise filled the faces of the people standing around as they ran from the smoke. Only the most daring of them watched from a distance, for they know that no matter how scary whatever was coming out was, they had a more scary wife at home, whose mouth would kill faster than any oracle. Finally, he decided to come out. Ikenga said, for he had anticipated this for long. He knew his fight was never with Agumba, because he was just a tool in the hands of this puppet master. This is the slave master that deceived Mbakwe into being a slave, he said as he casually pointed at the ferocious looking smoke monster. You little cockroach, the monster yelled. I don't blame you. I blame that impotent Ikuku that couldn't kill you in the womb or hold you in his shrine. He said this and reminded the king of how he truly escaped from the life of a nobody. The encounter that changed his name from Onyemechi to Ikenga. I may be little, but he that is in me is greater than a million of you. You are powerless, but knowing you won't give up without a fight, I am giving you the opportunity to go now. Leave this community, leave this land, and go back to the dark abyss where you belong. Never, never, never! It screeched in fear and burst forward to attack Ikenga, who was protected by a mighty invisible shield. Killing me in the womb, when I was not yet born, was not easy for you. You think you can harm the hair on my head now? Ikenga said. In the name of the one who sent me, be destroyed! Ikenga commanded with authority as a mighty wind and a whirlpool of thunder emerged out of nowhere and destroyed the monster. Screams of joy filled the air as the people rejoiced for their victory. Ikenga, on the other hand, still had a solemn look on his face. He knew it was not yet over. He could feel it from the very start of the day. He dreamt about it, and he was so disturbed that he had to go out to the forest early in the morning, meditating and seeking for guidance. In his first encounter with the mysterious tree, he had received an instruction. Flashback to his first encounter. I know you have a lot of questions, but do not be afraid, for I have called you Ikenga the warrior. I am sending you on a journey, and the day you see a changed king, know that you are about to finish your task. There, I can answer all your questions. Flashback to his first encounter with Agumba. As Agumba the king stepped out of the carriage, Ikenga saw a man with a mighty chain around his neck, and the chain was blood-stained and was so heavy that it weighed down on him. He didn't know what he saw, but he knew that he had finally met his candidate. And when he went to the forest that day, he had his second encounter. It was then that the mysterious tree revealed his purpose to him, a purpose that was set to come to pass when the time was right. The mysterious tree also revealed his name as the I Am, the tree of life, and also revealed that his journey henceforth would be tough, but he should not be afraid, for he would always be with him, shielding him from all danger. Flashback to this morning. Ikenga, waking up with a start from a terrible dream. He couldn't understand, and so he sought guardians and was given a grave warning. Never let your guard down, for when you think you are standing, you may fall face flat. But I will not leave you in a difficult corner, for there will be a way out for you, said the mysterious tree. Back to the present. It has not ended. I can feel it, Ikenga said, feeling very uneasy as he anticipated for the worst. However, as days went by, things settled down in Nise community, and everything was going smoothly until someone knocked on his door one early morning. Your mother is sick, the stranger said. Her last wish is to see you before she dies. And this was how Ikenga left Nise village, said his farewells, and set on the journey home. What he did not expect was that he had actually fallen into a deadly trap, a trap he might not survive.